welcome to Yoga on the Inside. I'm Kristin Bosteels, and I'm so thrilled to be able to be here today to give you some insight into some poses you can do to take care of your lower back. So it's mind-boggling, but it's so true that 80% of humans experience some sort of back pain in their life, and a lot of people experience lower back pain. Now, when I came to yoga, I had chronic SI joint imbalance. So I had some flexibility in my body that I had overused that allowed me to go beyond my threshold and created an instability in my lower back. And so I love this work. So we're going to just take 15 minutes today to give you a little bit of insight, 3 postures in particular, to pull traction in the spine and to create space and room so that hopefully you can feel a little bit of relief if you're someone who struggles with this. And back pain is very interesting because it doesn't just affect you. It seems like it may. But on a physical level, yes, back pain does affect your personal being, your physical body. But it also affects the emotional body, and it affects how we interact with our environment and how we interact with our relationships. And this is so huge because when we're in chronic pain, it's very difficult to be happy. We have to really work to move beyond the physical body and to embrace a clear, positive emotional state. But when we're out of back pain, there is a freedom that comes to our life. We're not constantly making those noises of ugh or ow, or just foregoing activities we may have done in our healthy body because we're experiencing back pain. So be patient, be mindful, and know that if you can commit to just 15 minutes a day, that you should feel some sort of relief. So I want you to come to a wall. We're going to start with a pose that we call box on the wall. And this could also be called Ardha Uttanasana in some systems of yoga, half Uttanasana, which is the standing forward bend. But we're going to call it box on the wall today. And I want you to come up to the wall and take your hands shoulder distance apart and shoulder height. I want you to stare at your hands for a moment. The middle fingers point straight up to the ceiling. They're parallel to one another. And then I want you to spread your fingers evenly from the middle fingers. Be really specific about your hands because how we press the wall with our hands will directly affect how this pose travels into our shoulders, up into our necks. So it's not just about the lower back, but it also is going to have some effect in the upper back, neck, and shoulders. So set your hands properly, and then you're going to walk your feet back until your heels are directly underneath your sitting bones. You're going to bring your ears in line with your upper arms. And then you have a clear vision, a clear view of your feet. I want you to balance your feet. So most of us have the tendency to walk on the outer edge of one foot, or maybe we turn one or both feet out when we walk. Some of you have fallen arches or flat feet, and so you tend to put a lot of your pressure, a lot of your weight on your inner feet. All of this affects our lower back. Our feet are hardwired into our knees, into our hips, which directly connects to the low back. So balance your feet and press the mounds of your big toes, mounds of your pinky toes evenly. Press your inner and outer heels evenly. And then straighten your legs fully. And I want you to really press through your arms, allowing your shoulders to even come up by your ears where you feel your ears in contact with your upper arms. And really straighten your legs. Now as you stay here, some of you will feel that you have a little bit of roundness coming into your back because of the stiffness or the congestion in the backs of your legs, the hamstrings. So I want everybody to take a quick micro bend of both knees. I want you to tilt your pelvis so that your sitting bones, the buttocks flesh, goes up towards the ceiling. Keep that, and then straighten your legs. You'll find that this brings a gripping across the lower back band that may feel uncomfortable, but that should allow you some relief when you get out of the pose and continue on with your day. Now, some of you are hypermobile, and so you're able to really drop and collapse into your chest, into your ribs. I want you to pull your lower ribs in. Keep your flexibility in check. Remember, I hurt my back because of flexibility, because I didn't have the strength, and I pushed beyond the threshold of yoga. So the ribs stay contained, sitting bones rise, press your arms, grip your legs, and then look up and walk in to come out. Now I want you to slide your hands down so that your hands are the height of your frontal hip bones. So your waist area, about your navel. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take your hands shoulder distance apart. You're going to make your middle fingers parallel and point straight up to the ceiling. You're going to spread your fingers evenly from that middle fingers. And then you're going to walk back and place your heels directly under your sitting bones again. So this time you're mimicking something more like downward dog turned on its side. Heels come underneath your sitting bones. Same rules apply. So you're reaching through your arms. You're straightening your legs, but you're not hard pressing them back and straightening them as much as you possibly can, especially for those of you who are flexible. If you know that you hyperextend in your legs, put a micro bend in your knees and then grip your thighs. Balance the weight in both feet. Bring your ears in line with your upper arms. And then everybody, micro bend your knees, tilt your pelvis so that your sitting bones, buttocks flesh moves up towards the ceiling. This is going to engage your hamstrings. You're going to feel a deeper stretch in your hamstrings. But I want you to keep that tilt, keep that grip in the lower back band, and then slowly straighten your legs. The breath moves through your nose, and you're breathing normally. So if you feel like your breath gets a little bit heightened, it gets quick, I want you to see if you can slow that down. And you don't need to do anything fancy like take deep breaths or breaths with sound, but just keep your natural breath moving through your nose. Good. Look up, walk in to come out. And then come back to your mat. Come to all fours. Place your wrists directly underneath your shoulders. And today we're going to take our knees slightly behind the sitting bones. So not directly under the hips, but just slightly back so that there's a wider angle between your belly and your thighs. And then you're going to set your hands just like you did on the wall. Middle fingers parallel to one another, shoulders and wrists in a line. Your hands are shoulder distance apart, and you're spreading the weight evenly through your fingers, but really emphasizing pressing your inner hand, the lowest knuckle of your index finger, lowest knuckle of your thumb, center of the base of your palm. And then turn your eyes of your elbows, where they draw blood, those two creases in your elbows, turn those towards one another. Curl your toes under. Take a deep inhalation. Lift your chest through your upper arms, look up, and then as you exhale, straighten your legs, reach your buttocks up towards the ceiling, straighten your arms, and take downward facing dog. And you may need to adjust the length of your downward dog once you get in it. Now we're not going to stay in the traditional pose. So you're looking at your ankles right now. I want you to bend your knees the height of your ankles. Reach through your arms and take your sternum towards your knees. And then just like you did on the wall, I want you to lift your sitting bones, lift your buttocks flush up towards the ceiling without unbending your knees. Reach through your arms again, keep all of that there, and then slowly straighten your legs. But you're not slamming your knees back, you're just slowly straightening your legs. Slowly straightening your legs and seeing if you can keep that action in your pelvis going up and the extension in your arms stretching forward. Don't be in a hurry to put the heels on the floor. That's not the big deal today. The big deal is how can we affect the lower back and bring more space and room in the pelvis, in the vertebrae, all the way through to the neck. Let your head hang. And then bend your knees again, one more time. Bend them to the height of your ankles. Press through your arms. Lift your buttocks without unbending your knees. And then keeping all of that straight in your legs. Again, slow, steady, smooth extension. Good, bend your knees to the floor. Bring your big toes to touch. Bring your hairline to the floor and stretch your arms forward. Even walk your fingertips forward to find more length and room. And then take your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up. And take a bolster. For this last pose, we're going to take a couple minutes in Supta Virasana. So you're going to take one bolster, one blanket for your head. You'll fold the blanket. Bring your knees together, separate your feet so that they're wider than your hips. Bring your head to the floor and roll your calves out. And then sit back on the edge of the bolster. And just give yourself a moment to have this bend of the knee sink into your body. So you're not asking for too much too fast. Now if you have knee pain or you feel pain in the joint, you can add a couple of blankets or bolsters. And you can lie back from sitting on this top bolster. But if you feel pretty good, I want you to come forward, sit between your feet, lie back on the bolster. We're just going to stay here for a moment, just so we can get a gentle stretch in the quadriceps, in the top of the legs. Use the pillow for your head. You pull it all the way in, so it supports your neck. Arms come out to the sides, palms face up. And you may feel this in your lower back. You're definitely going to feel this in your quadriceps, but you could feel this in your lower back. For years, I had sensation here. There's always pain when you are walking the path to get rid of pain that's chronically in your body. You're going to come up against sensations in your body that aren't going to always be easy and flowy and comfortable, but they're going to be uncomfortable. And the hope is that you can feel that discomfort in the practice so that when you walk out of here and you walk into your life, you actually feel less discomfort and you feel more comfort and even more pain-free in your life. And that's the hope. To come out of the pose, take your hands underneath your back, under your buttocks. You're coming up chest first, head last. So press yourself up. And then simply bring your legs through and come to Dandasana. Separate your heels slightly. Micro bend your knees and press your heels into the floor. Keep that pressure in your heels, slowly straighten your legs. So thank you so much for joining today. Be patient with yourself. Be dedicated in your practice. Commit to this 15 minutes a day for your low back. And I hope that you see some relief in your life. Namaskar. Thank you so much.